Guys, Alex here. Today we're going to talk about University of the People. This is a school I've wanted to cover for a long time, actually. The reason I never covered this school is because they were not regionally accredited. And now, as of late February, about a month ago, they are fully regionally accredited. So University of the People, not just nationally accredited anymore, they are fully regionally accredited. That means their degree will be accepted by employers, accepted by the government, accepted by grad programs, basically accepted everywhere. So it is a nonprofit, regionally accredited bachelor's degree. So they only have a few bachelor degrees, and I will be covering the computer science degree today. And yes, this potentially has the potential to be the cheapest computer science degree at the bachelor level in the whole country. Basically, you can probably get this whole thing done in around $3,500, maybe even less than that. So that's cheaper than a WGU term. So basically, you would spend around $2,000 at the University of the People, since they charge about $140 per class, and they call that fees. That they market themselves as tuition free, which is, I think, really good marketing. Brilliant marketing, drive people to the school by advertising free college, but it's not technically free. You can advertise tuition free if you want, but if you're still paying $140 per class, it's not technically free. So if my math is correct, and I'll try to put the math in the spreadsheet later on, but if you did all the courses in the spreadsheet I'm about to show you, you would end up spending about $2,000 at University of the People and probably around $1,500 on all their ACE credits combined. So like I said, around $3,500 and $4,000 max, maybe $2,800 at the cheapest. So like this has potential to be super cheap, okay? Like WGU would probably run you with the ACE credits and one term, you're looking at least $6,000. And as for TESU, you'd probably be looking at close to $10,000. So this potentially could be the cheapest option there is. I think I would still recommend WGU and TESU until University of the People gains some more recognition. But it still is now another option, because all we had before was WGU and TESU for computer science. And we had a couple other ones like CSU Global and UMGC, but those ones take a little longer and they're more expensive. So finally, we might have a third contender here. So I'm going to go over the spreadsheet, guys. Once again, this is a free tuition college. You do pay per course. Also, I'm going to get into the spreadsheet, and University of the People is not as... Their guidelines say they will accept up to 75% of transfer credits, which is 90 credits. But then they also have on their transfer page, they usually only accept up to 60 credits, and they will only accept up to 75 credits on a case-by-case basis. I really don't like that wording. So TESU and WGU, the thing I love about those two schools is it's very black and white. They accept up to 90 ACE credits, and they accept up to 90 ACE credits, and they will accept exactly what the transfer equivalent says on their website. So WGU and TESU, black and white stuff, 90 ACE credits, and they'll accept exactly what's listed. UMPI is a school I've had trouble with because they'll pick and choose. Even if they say they accept this as this equivalent, they'll pick and choose what to accept. And University of the People, I hope they're not going down that same road as UMPI, like picking and choosing what to accept. It should be black and white. So what I would suggest is if you transfer in this whole spreadsheet and they say, hey, we're only accepting 60 of these, then I would take it to another school like TESU, where you can just get a bachelor's degree there. So take it to TESU if they don't accept it, and you got options. You basically have options. And they're not going to want to lose an enrollee, in my opinion, so they'll probably just give you credit up to 90 credits, in my opinion. So I'm not too familiar with the school. I've never talked to this school. The school doesn't know I'm making a video. This is some brand new stuff here, so I'm sure they will appreciate the free marketing. And yes, University of the People, you will get an influx of enrollees after this video, especially once it marinates for several months. So I hope that your school does well, and I hope you guys keep growing. It seems like you guys have a very good mission, a good dream. I like what you guys are doing. So let's get into the spreadsheet right now, and I'll show you guys how to hack this degree. All right, here we are in the spreadsheet. I'm going to take my mouse and put it over here. So University of the People, this spreadsheet took me more time to research than any other spreadsheet I've ever done. So I hope you guys appreciate this. I can't say this is all entirely accurate because I don't know if University of the People is going to accept exactly what they say. TESU and WGU, I trust very, very much accepting what is listed. They're very good about that. So I can't say for sure University of People will accept what they list, although I hope they would. So these are the exact transfer equivalents that they post on their website, and then the ACE Credit websites post on their website as well. So here are the equivalents, and for some reason they must have a different contract with all three ACE Credit providers, because they do not accept general education from study.com, it seems. They also do not accept calculus from study.com. They also do not accept English from study.com. They also don't really accept some of the computer science courses from Sophia. Basically, they accept different kinds of courses from each ACE Credit provider, right? Like, they'll accept general ed from Straighterline. They'll accept English from Straighterline. They'll accept math courses and science courses from Sophia. They'll accept the computer science courses from study.com. So it's like they have a contract, I think, for every category, maybe, for these ACE Credit platforms. Like science goes here, math goes here. Like, I don't know exactly. But so this one is a variety spreadsheet where it's listing all three ACE Credit providers. Study.com has the most courses here, but you do see some Straighterline and Sophia because you can't take these on study.com. So we'll start with History of Western Art 1, which would be a general education requirement. It's basically the only general ed course they seem to accept from study.com. You know, that should only take you a couple days. Intro to Programming is a great course, as I've always told you guys. Comes with a minor assignment. You should be able to get this course done in a week. It's a great course that teaches you your arrays, your loops, your basic syntax, basically all the basics to programming. So this course will have 2 operating system classes, operating systems 1 and 2. So you'll take Introduction to Operating System course, which is very easy at study.com, and get this done in a few days, honestly. Introduction to Linux might take you a good week. Good class over at Study. Discrete math is, a huge pain in the rear at Study, but it's still easier than most college platforms. But it is a borderline college level class over at study.com. I had to use flashcards to pass this class, and I barely passed it. It was hard. It's a very hard course, maybe the hardest course on study.com. So programming, and this one will take you probably 2 weeks. Discrete math might take you a solid 2 weeks. So programming in Python shouldn't take you more than 7 or 8 days. It does come with a writing assignment. Not a writing assignment, a programming assignment, and it's not that hard. It's passable. Database Fundamentals is an easier course on Study. 3 or 4 days, you can knock it out. Same thing with Introduction to Networking. Take you 2 to 4 days. You hustle, you can knock it out. It's a pretty good course, actually. It'll teach you a lot about networking. I learned a lot from this type of course. I thought it was really well put together, actually. And most networking courses are based way 15 years behind. So this course is actually up to date, and it's pretty good. I've seen some pretty terrible networking classes where the technology and the infrastructure is 20 years old. So software engineering. So finally, I can recommend Study.com software engineering course. I never recommend it with WGU spreadsheets because the WGU software engineering course is faster than the Study.com course, and it's easier than the Study.com course. So I always recommend to take the course on WGU because it's a 2-day course. And then at TESU, they actually don't accept this course as upper level software engineering. So I can finally recommend this course. So take software engineering and it will transfer in as software engineering 1. Data structures and algorithms, course at study.com. This will teach you data structures, which is super important in computer science. You need to know data structures. It's really a backbone of programming, and also it's what's on interviews. Every single interview, you'll be tested on data structures and algorithms. This is how technical interviews work. This is how software engineer interviews work, is you pass a data structures and algorithm problem. So that'll transfer in as data structures. So you have fundamentals of information technology, pretty good course on study, computer science elective. Now, I'm not entirely sure this transfers in as a computer science elective, but it does say computer science elective on both study.com and University of the People. So I'm assuming it will. Computer concepts and applications will transfer in as a computer science elective, and introduction to cybersecurity would also transfer in as a computer science elective. So this is like a 3-day course. Computer concepts and applications, also about 3 days, and introduction to cybersecurity, probably 5 or 6 days. Now, data structures is a course that could take you up to 10 days because it is pretty tough. So 10 days I'll put on that one. Now we get to database programming, which would transfer in as databases 2, also probably a 10-day course, 9 to 11 days. It does come with a pretty tough assignment, but very passable, good course. You'll learn a lot. You'll learn SQL. SQL is important for every single tech job, as I've said in many videos. Whether you're going to be a cloud engineer, cybersecurity analyst, software engineer, data engineer, even AI. Like SQL is important for every single technical domain. English composition 2. So this degree does not have English Comp 1, which is weird, but you'll take English Comp 2 from Straighterline. And I believe they would also accept the one from Sophia as well. But I think the one on Straighterline is easier than the Sophia one. And if you wanted to go to TESU, TESU only accepts the Straighterline one. So let's say you're doing this University of the People spreadsheet and TESU is your backup plan. I would just do this course at Straighterline, so you already have it in your back pocket for TESU. So this would transfer in as English 2, and it would meet a general education requirement. Intro to Sociology and Psychology, and that class would take about a week, by the way. Intro to Sociology and Psychology, probably looking at 3 or 4 days each. 2 fun courses. I mean, I'm not a big sociology guy, but I love psychology. Psychology is really fun. If life wasn't about money, I would love to just do psychology all the time. So, unfortunately, gotta pay the bills. And I still do love computer science. I love programming. I love making iOS apps. I love messing around with large language models. So, I do love computer science as well. But psychology is also pretty awesome. College algebra, pretty easy course on study for a math class. Calculus 1, it's going to kick your behind, but I think Straighterline is the easiest place for it. If you're going to do Calculus 1 and pass it anywhere, it will be Straighterline. So take all of the exams, open book. Yes, you can take them open book. And Straighterline is the one platform that allows you to use a calculator on all these exams, including the final exam. If you do calculus on Straighterline, if you get 100% on all the open book exams, on the proctored final exam, you can get like 15% and still pass the course. So you can get 15% on the final exam and still pass the course if you got 100% on all the previous open book exams. Does that make sense? That's why taking it on Straighterline is a cheat code. Although it might be getting a lot easier on study.com as well, but this school does not accept calculus from study.com. So we got cultural anthropology. This is a very easy course on Straighterline. I took this course myself a long time ago, and I passed it in a couple days, like 2 days. This is a very fast course. Introduction to Criminal Justice, also a super fast course that you can pass in 2 or 3 days on Straighterline. Very quick. Sophia, we get to 4 courses. Human biology. I love human biology. Very fun. Another thing I would love to major into, biology. It's one of the, I'm not a chemistry guy. I find chemistry extremely dull and frustrating, but biology I love. So you'll have fun in that course, I hope. And then you have Intro to Stats. You have Java programming and web development. So Java programming would go in as programming 2, and web development would go in as web programming 1. And these courses I've never taken either of these on Sophia, but I've heard they're not too difficult. So about, low, in between low to medium difficulty, more towards medium probably. Now you have the courses you will take at University of the People. So you'll be transferring in 75 credits. Now, I don't really know this school, so they might be like, hey, 60 credits is all you can transfer in, because they had that in their little on their transfer page, that they'll accept up to 90 ACE credits on a case-by-case basis. And then sometimes they only accept up to 60. So like I said, 75 credits would be what we transfer in here. And if they try to haggle you, not that I'm trying to make them sound like a used car salesman here, but if they try to haggle you, just tell them you want the full 90 credits and you don't mind going to a different school, basically. So try to get those full 90 credits. Also, guys, this is a great degree if you're an international student. So you can't do WGU if you're international, right? You have to do TESU or this one if you're doing a computer science degree. If you're American, I think I would still recommend the TESU one. If you are international, I think this one actually might end up being a little better. 2 years. You can get this degree done in less than 2 years. And I'll get through that in a bit. But less than 2 years, you can get this whole thing done. So, Introduction to Computer Science, Digital Electronics and Computer Architecture, Comparative Programming Languages. These are all pretty important courses. Data Mining and Machine Learning. So this actually sounds like a very important course, because a lot of people don't realize that without data, like data mining and data cleaning, it's hard to really understand and grasp machine learning completely. Believe it or not, machine learning is just actually like a branch of data science. So you need to know data, and this probably teaches you the fundamentals of data. You'll have data mining, and maybe you'll even have a little data cleaning in there as well. Then you got analysis of algorithms, information retrieval, systems and application security, big data. So here's another crucial course, big data. Software engineering 2 sounds like a pretty important course and a good course on your transcript. Advanced networking and data security, mobile applications, web programming 2. So we probably learn some more HTML, CSS, JavaScript. I bet web programming 2 is like a lot of JavaScript, and I would bet web programming 1, which you're taking at Sophia, would be more HTML, CSS. Computer graphics sounds like a really cool course, actually. Artificial intelligence, that's part of like every computer science curriculum now, Intro to Artificial Intelligence. And here's like a few general ed courses that, they make you do there, which is online education strategies. It seems like this is the first course you do in the entire school. They make you do this before anything, I'm assuming. Then you have professional communication and ethics. So that's 45 credits at the school. So it looks like a really good degree. I've had my eye on University of the People for a long time. I'll be honest, the name never sat well with me. I didn't like University of the People, the name. But I will be honest that it is starting to grow on me when you think about it as like the new future public model, right? So the UK has Open University, right? And a lot of these countries have their, like the public university that's free. It's basically like free or almost free. So UK has Open University. This could be the University of America, basically, where everything's free, and University of the People, right? So it's actually grown on me quite a bit now. I actually kind of like it. If this becomes like the free university of this country, I think it's like a really good name, actually. Like it's really grown on me. So still has a lot of good name recognition to establish, right? Still a lot of brand establishment that they need to do, like for jobs and grad programs to really take this degree seriously, but it is regionally accredited. So it doesn't matter if a grad program doesn't really know what this degree is. They're not going to deny you entry into a grad program just because they don't know or never heard of the school. For example, WGU, with this degree, you can now get into WGU's Master's in Computer Science or Software Engineering with this degree, unless you're an international student. So this degree is really good. I think this is now in the top 3 most hackable computer science degrees in the entire country, just like that. WGU, TESU, and University of the People. And if you're international, you now have 2 options. TESU was the only option before, really. Now you have 2 options, which is TESU and University of the People. If you're international and you always wondered why University of the People was not as recommended as TESU, it's because it was not regionally accredited before, which is the main type of accreditation in America. Okay, so now it has the same accreditation as TESU. Now, I think TESU has a much, has been around much longer, has a better reputation, is a public state university, etc. But University of the People, I think they are going to establish their reputation over time. And I really like the direction that they are going. So I really love the direction they are going. This looks like a fantastic degree. And you can do this degree in about 2 years, a little less than 2 years. So let me break down the time frame before I end this video. Also, guys, if you want 30% off your first 3 months to study.com, you can click this link or go to my website, majormash.com. Majormash.com, and you'll get 30% off to study.com for 3 months, which will save you hundreds of dollars. So you can do that. But this degree, you're basically looking at, in my opinion, about 4 months if you hustle, okay? Maybe 6 months if you don't hustle, but 4 months if you hustle on all these ACE credits, and then you'll do 3 terms at University of the People, because they don't allow you to accelerate, unfortunately. Now, if somebody at the University of the People wants to correct me on this, please reach out to me. But to my knowledge, you cannot accelerate. The classes are go at your own pace, which means you can finish a class in like a week, I think. But you can only take about 15 credits in one term, and you can't add more credits to that term. You can't add more classes to that term, unfortunately. So WGU, right, if you finish your 12 credits, you add more, and you add more, and you add more. So you can do like 50 credits in one term. So this school doesn't do that type of model. So it's like once you do your 15 credits, even if you did those 15 credits in a few weeks, you would be done until the next semester. But overall, you would spend 3 terms at this school, like around 15 credits each. That would be 18 months, plus about 4 months to get the ACE credits. You're looking at about 22 months, in my opinion, which is a little under 2 years. So that's still less than 4 years. Most bachelor degrees in America are 4 years to 4.5 years, right? It's actually 4.5 years most schools across the nation, because most people are taking 12 credits. And to graduate in 4 years, you need to take 15 credits a semester. So most bachelor degrees are 4.5 years. This one is 2 years, which is great. So basically 22 months. It's a fantastic option. I'm glad we have options now. If anyone from the University of the People wants to reach out to me and explain anything further, please get a hold of me. I would love to work with you guys. I would love to learn more about your school. But once again, this is University of the People Computer Science degree, now regionally accredited. Congratulations. So congratulations to University of the People. And I've known about this school for like 7-8 years, so it's nice to see them finally get that accreditation. But anyways, guys, this is the video. You can download the spreadsheet at majormash.com and click the University of People Computer Science. I'll try to put it in the pinned comment as well. So thank you guys for watching the video. If I helped you at all, please like, subscribe, and comment. So when you do those three things, it sends the video to more people, and the algorithm is happy. So I would really appreciate that. And the number one most important thing is actually commenting. So how the YouTube algorithm takes priority is commenting above anything else. So when it sees a bunch of comments, it pushes the video to more and more and more people. Likes are also important, and subscribing is also important. So if you enjoyed this video at all, it would mean a lot to me if you did that to help the channel grow. So thank you guys. Take care. Till next time.